of myself, but the biggest question is, where's the Dark World access? And without it, crystals, that makes that decision even harder. And it looks like we're right underway now. Looks like we got 2 people starting in Link's house with nothing special in the chest. And the best rupee up in the sanctuary.
It is very interesting to see that it looked like we had 2 people starting off, Walther and Sunshine starting off in Link's house, and then Cassidy and DKS starting off in the Sanctuary. I think that's a very interesting difference in choice, and we'll probably see very soon if that plays any difference at all in the overall routing.
Yeah, Cassidy is actually going for a little bit of a different strategy than everyone else. Looks like they are going to be going for the Houlihan strategy. And sure enough, we have a Houlihan. So now they'll have a lot more... Oh!
Boots. Uncle had the boots already.
So that will give Walther a pretty nice early advantage.
Indeed.
And the Lumberjack check yields only a piece of heart, so that means that, you know, the big Aghanim requirement is not a problem this seed, which I'm sure our runners are very thankful for. But that doesn't rule out Aghanim completely just yet. With those boots, we can also check Bonk Rocks. And oh, what a check it is!
I missed what it was. What was it?
That was the Power Gloves.
Nice. So Walther has the Power Gloves and the Pegasus boots already?
Yup. Looks like everyone else are just making standard Kakariko checks. Walther's really the only one that's going completely off track right now, due to the boots. But it seems like he'll probably now go to Kakariko Village like everyone else. Oh! Well, unfortunately, it looks like your dream is dead. We've just found the Cane of Samaria in the back of the shop.
Okay. That's typical for me, to be honest. Like, I really want something, and the seed lets me down.
So I guess you should hope for not a pedestal seed then. That way we'll get one, right?
So, both DKS and Sunshine have gotten their first sword, and I believe I saw a bottle in there.
Yep. That would be what I saw as well. Other than that, though, Kakariko hasn't seemed to give us too much. Aside from, obviously, that cane.
Well, had the mirror, so DKS now has the mirror.
Oh!
I believe that was the well. And
yes.
Cassidy just got as well.
Alright. Looks like I spoke too soon. Kakariko has a lot of stuff right now.
Walther picking up that bottle and that sword.
Yeah, we can expect pretty much all of them to grab it. It's in a very nice location that almost every runner will probably go to.
Pretty much. I have yet to see a runner skip over Blind's Hut, especially in open mode.
I have seen it happen once, and what happened was they skipped a single chest in Blind's Hut by accident. And that chest happened to hold, I believe it was the mirror.
Wouldn't that be the luck, though? Walter's heading to the bottom of the well.
Gonna be grabbing his mirror. Their mirror. And the sick kid. Getting the bottle allows us to check that. Unfortunately, he looks like he spent all his money somewhere else. Alright, so we're wrapping up the Kakariko Village check. So normally what happens next is runners will tend to go to the South Shore. Particularly the mini Moldorm Cave is very item-dense location with 5 chests, and then most runners will also make their way over towards Ice Rod Cave. However, you might see some runners choose to skip it since it's somewhat out of the way, but it also has a somewhat high chance of actually having something, at least in my experience. So let's see what DKS decides to do now that he's saved and quitted.
So do you agree with the idea that a loaded Kakariko village means the rest of the seed is going to be barren?
That's generally the way V29's turned out. If, a lot of items up front, and then there's just, you're going to spend like at least half the seed searching for one item. So V29
I may still get my wish because I just love seeds where they hunt and hunt for a single item.
You are one cruel person. I love it too. And so far nothing in the dam, and the water has just a big old 20. So as I mentioned, most of the runners appear to be making their way to the south shore. After that, a lot of runners will probably go wherever it seems their items are pointing them to. Worth noting that the big find right now is the gloves in the bonk rocks, which only Walther has right now. So we're probably, unless the other gloves are somewhere very easily reachable, we're going to have to wait for these other 3 runners to get them before they can really make any huge progress in the Dark World.
I think, am I correct in seeing that we might have vanilla green pendant?
I actually missed the map check, so...
Actually, no, green pendant would have a star on it.
Yes, green pendant does have a star.
Okay.
That's just to help the colorblind people. But you did see a pendant on Eastern?
Yep. We've got a pendant and 2 crystals. So we're at the very least going to see our runners visit the Desert Palace and the Tower of Hera right now.
Right.
Maybe
Most
not
runners
right,
tend to clear
right
tower.
now.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Not right now, but we'll eventually see them regardless.
Yep. From my experience watching these seeds, a lot of runners tend to clear Tower of Hera just because it's pretty short. But this case, we'll definitely be seeing it.
That's if Moldorm treats you nicely.
Always true. And looks like DK is going over towards Uncle. Going to be very, very well rewarded there. Everyone else appears to be making their way towards the Ice Rod Cave.
Should we take the over-under on how long it takes Cassidy and Sunshine to go visit Uncle?
Well, it depends on really what they do next. Hopefully they go right there, but I have seen seeds where, I know I've completely forgotten about Uncle just because I'm so used to playing standard mode. So that could happen to them as well. Looks like Walter's actually taking a small detour for some rupees. Alright, looks like Cassidy is going towards Uncle, and as DH Stom in the chat points out, the Uncle check is really close to the basement of Hyrule Castle, also known as the front of Escape. So generally you want to be able to clear the front of Escape easily before you go towards the Uncle. Which is why you'll see DKS going through that right now. Meanwhile, Walther is using a water walking glitch to go up to the Zora area early.
Just some sundry items in Waterfall to start off with.
Right. He's got the 500 rupees, so he will be able to see what our scam is this time. But other than that he. Oh! Did you just see what I saw?
I may have missed it.
Over on the Zora ledge, we have the fire rod.
Ah, okay. I just barely missed it. At least we know that King Zora loves us a little bit.
Yes. Just a little bit, though. And it appears we both missed the lamp in Sahasrala's closet, which Old Man Sunshine went and checked as well. So that opens up dark rooms in the logic, although for a lot of runners, dark rooms are not a problem navigating even without the lamp.
And Sunshine has also now gone to Uncle and gotten his birthday present.
Woohoo! The best boots ever.
Looks like Sunshine also got a boomerang.
Oh, so he did. That might have also been in Sahasrala's closet. Meanwhile, DKS is going through the dark rooms without the lamp.
But since I believe one of the keys to going through a dark room without the lamp is the Cane of Samaria, is it not? I think some people have used the spray from the block dissipating to get through
yeah,
the
that is a
room.
good point.
So all of our runners have at least one way to get through dark rooms if they so choose.
Right, and of course they all have a sword, so you can also use the glitter from the sword. And DKS is about to reach his biggest early goal, finding the gloves and the bonk rocks. I'm sure that they are very pleased to see that. Alright.
The other thing worth noting that I didn't mention before is Desert Palace is not just a crystal, it's one of the 5-6 crystals.
Oh, that could be very important, depending on whether or not where the other crystal is. We could be getting a fat fairy. Speaking of dark rooms, DKS is making their way up to Death Mountain. This is actually in logic, though they don't realize that. And with the mirror, they're also able to go to the Tower of Hera. So it looks like we'll be seeing a very early Hera clear this time around. And Spectacle Rock just has a full heart, and inside is just a big 20. Oh, Walter's on a low amount of life in the dark room, using the bee for protection.
I was about to say, I heard that bee.
Yeah, never thought I'd hear myself say the words "using a bee for protection," but there you go. Oh, we just got our Dark World map check. I saw that the other 5-6 crystal appears to be Ice Palace, but
That
I didn't
is
manage to
going to
catch
be-
everything else before DKS closed his screen.
That is going to... Okay. Pendant in Meyer, I think? And, there's that other pendant. It looks like green pendant in Meyer.
Alright. Yep, and
Yep, looks like Green Pendant and Meyer, and
The other pendant would be Thieves Town.
Yep. Thank you very much, chat, for pointing that out for us.
So, the lamp is going to be necessary as a fire source, and the fire rod itself is flippers locked. So, they're definitely going to be looking up for those flippy floppies. And it looks like DKS backed out of the Tower of Hera because we need to go through the basement. And as we mentioned, he does not have his lamp yet. So he needs to head for Sahasrara's closet. Which it appears is exactly where he's going. Meanwhile, it looks like Walther's about to run into the same problem. While Cassidy is dipping into Eastern Palace. Yeah, Cassidy and Old Man Sunshine will not need to double dip Hera because they managed to get the lamp first. However, DKS is not going to need to make as huge of a trek because in already making his way up Death Mountain, he's got that save point. So let's see here. Walther is now making the trek into Tower of Hera, but will soon have to leave it. Oh no, Walther, don't! No! Unless you have the lamp.
Which,
you don't have the lamp.
As far as I know, yeah, Walther does not have the lamp.
And it looks like he just realized it. It's like everyone else is in dungeons right now. Now, Cassidy does not have the bow, so they will not be able to actually finish Eastern Palace right now. So they will probably save and quit after getting this last chest. Since the last item will be on the Armos Knights. DKS and Sunshine are both taking a nice little break as they let the tile room do its thing.
Okay, yeah, the boomerang was in the back of Sahara's whatever his name is. You know who I'm talking about. But Sahasrara? Is that what it is? Sahasrara?
Sahasrara, Sriracha, Sasha Lasha Ding Dong. You can pretty much use any name, I think.
I figured after a couple of times of getting tongue-tied that people knew exactly who I was talking about.
Yeah. And Cassidy appears to be making their way into the Desert Palace.
Which is definitely a smart move considering that 5-6 pendant is there.
Yes. So yes, the newest info is going to be from Cassidy, as everyone else is sort of going over areas we've already checked.
Okay, looks like we had a ledge check, and Mitts were on ledge. Oh, and Walther is now literate.
Yes. The book in Eastern Palace is what gave us entrance into desert, so...
Hooked on phonics, look for Walther. And Cassidy, which I missed, I guess.
Yep.
I guess that makes sense, considering Cassidy's in Desert Palace.
Yep. Alright. Looks like DKS is attempting a bomb jump to try and get that chest early. And makes it. And looks like DKS is about to start the infamous Moldorm fight, as is Sunshine. So let's wish them both luck and no trolls.
Wait. Luck? No. All the trolls.
Oh, well, looks like your wish was granted for Sunshine. That's one fall. Looks like DK is trying to take this strategy take this as safe as possible. Note that if you hold your sword out and Moldorm knocks you to the edge of the ledge, you won't actually fall off. So it's a good little strategy, as long as your back is to the ledge.
May I interject?
Sure.
Cassidy has found the pearl, and the pearl was in Desert Palace.
Oh my! That's important. And taking a death warp too. So, with the mitts on Desert Ledge and the Moon Pearl, Cassidy is our first on-camera racer with access to the Dark World.
And at probably sub 20 minutes, right?
Close enough. Very close. 22-minute Dark World access. Well, 21:30 maybe. Sunshine's still working on the Moldorm fight.
There we go. Moldorm has been vanquished by Sunshine.
And we claim his precious map.
It's the map, it's the map, it's the map, it's the map, it's the map!
Same map, same map!
I'm so glad you got that, because otherwise that would have been very awkward.
Unfortunately, or fortunately, I did get that reference. Cassidy doing an interesting bomb strat for the Landmolas. I believe it was a bomb strat. My stream's got a couple of artifacts going on, so I could have just missed something there. Alright. Cassidy takes care of Desert Palace. While Sunshine is heading into Eastern Palace. So for the most part, we're getting a lot of retracking as Walther picks up their Moon Pearl. Now, Cassidy is checking Agina's cave. This is a good check, and it's one that a lot of people tend to forget, as it's very out of the way in pretty much almost every other circumstance.
Nothing special in there, though.
Ah. It's always fun when Agina has progression. So, looks like Cassidy is probably going to make an adventure into the Dark World, but Just as I say that, appears to be going the other direction. So going to check the King's Tomb first. Chat pointing out that we've had to clear pretty much the entirety of the light world before getting our dark world access.
And that's yet again kind of what I wanted to see. Like thinking about like having all light world pendants is I like seeing a good clear.
Yeah. My kind of ultimate troll is all pendants in the light world and the moon pearl on the pedestal. So you have to clear all three light world dungeons. So it's kind of vanilla-ish, but not. And Cassidy is checking their map. We already have all our dark world information, but it's a good way to verify that we've got it right. Oh, and immediately paying off with the bow in the chest game. That's probably a huge relief. The bow is one of the most trolly items out there, since it's only really required to beat Eastern Palace, beat Palace of Darkness, and to make it up Ganon's Tower. Meanwhile, Walther's clearing Desert Palace. We'll probably be making the same Dark World trek. Cassidy's going into Thieves' Town. When you have this method of entering the Dark World, that's usually where I would expect one would go, since the main method of entering the Dark World is through that giant boulder right north of Kakariko. So Thieves' Town's just right there, even though it's a pendant. And looks like we're getting a nearly synchronous Agena check here by Walther and Sunshine. So beautiful. So, Thieves' Town presents an interesting set of questions. Namely, it's a pendant, so we have to wonder whether we need to actually clear it or not. But the other thing is that because they used the MITS method to get into the Dark World, they don't have the hammer, which means that it's very possible that the chest in the basement of Thieves' Town might not be accessible to them. And if that has an item, that could definitely weigh on their mind as they go throughout the rest of the game. Looks like Cassidy is going now into the basement of Thieves' Town, so they are trying to gonna clear it. Although, considering their health, they're gonna have to be really careful. Meanwhile, Walther is doing I think a more thorough clear of Village of Outcasts before going into Thieves' Town. I don't remember if Cassidy made all the other checks.
I don't believe I saw the other checks, but I could have missed something.
And now it's time for the Great Blind Fight, preceded by the just as great Blind Pun. Ha! And Sunshine is picking up their gloves. DKS is finishing up Desert Palace. So Cassidy chose to clear Thieves Town. I did not manage to see all the items. So I don't know if there actually is an item in the chest there. But if there is an item, then that could be a problem. Alright, and it looks like Walter is doing the digging game, or did the digging game. And don't know exactly what it was, but they are currently leaving it. Let's see if Cassidy shows us. Oh, it was just Babby's first shield. And with the mirror, that means that doing the Jeremiah Bullfrog was blacksmith is a very short trip. Also worth noting that Blue Mail was found in the Sea House in the Village of Outcasts, so hopefully all of our runners will be checking there and getting a very, very nice to have mail upgrade.
Sunshine just checked the chess game, so he has now, or they have now gotten their bow. Words, I can do them. I can English.
I don't know how you can, I certainly can't. Looks like the blacksmiths wanted to share a little love with us. And now for the purple chest. So this will likely be taken down to Gary, deliver his lunch, and we'll probably incorporate a couple of the Southern Dark World checks, especially since we have the mirror. We'll be able to check Cave 45 and Old Stumpy. If we had the shovel, we could also check the dig spot, but unfortunately we don't have that.
Looks
luxury.
like the hammer was in Cave 45.
So it is. Looks like my stream is lagging.
Mine was quite a bit as well, but I believe it was Walther who checked that.
Alright.
Looks like Cassidy did as well.
Alright, and with the book, we can find out what is on the Bombos tablet. Release me so I can go bzzz. I don't think I've seen that one. I'm not 100% sure what that is.
Sorry about that interruption.
Oh, it's a bee. What? Of course. And alright. If I had to guess, Walther will probably be checking Hype Cave next. So let's get our rating fingers ready. Find
3
out what
out of
kind of a
10
cave.
hype.
A dead hype.
3 out of 10 hype.
Oh.
Oh, wait. Do flippers count for 3 out of 10?
I'd say they do, especially since they're guarding the fire rod.
What do I win?
Actually, since they're guarding the fire rod, there might be even more than 3 out of 10.
But I don't include things that are not actually in Hype Cave in the Hype Cave rate.
Oh, well, in that case, you win my eternal respect and admiration. And Walther is going into the Palace of Darkness. But, oh no! He doesn't have the money! Oh, that's gotta feel horrible.
A greedy little monkey.
Stupid monkey. Speaking of money, that's all the hobo has. Just a big old 20. Cassidy, however, has 800 rupees, so they'll be able to enter the Palace of Darkness no problem.
Oh, you want to know one other thing that I'd like to see?
Tell me.
Ganon's Tower big key in the tile room.
Oh, you monster. You monster. That would be hilarious.
I mean, this scene is already going to be long enough. Why not just make it a little longer?
True. Alright, so, not that it matters, but is Pod bow-locked? Drumroll, please.
Cassidy is the one in Pod, and they have the bow.
I know, that's why I said it didn't really matter.
Ah.
And my stream skipped it, so... Fun little, another cane on the pyramid. This one of the Brian variety.
Always look on the bright side of life.
Always.
If I could whistle, I'd be whistling.
Ha!
There we go. Thank you.
No problem. Happy to help. And Walther is making one of the... This could be a big check if there's actually something here. The catfish is one item that a lot of people hate to check because it is so far out of the way. The only really good way to do it is to incorporate it with Zora, which I believe Walther hasn't checked Zora yet, so... Considering they have the flippers, they're going to be the first person to pick up their fire rod.
Yeah, let me think. I had a thought there. The thought flew away.
Ha!
Because I believe Walter is going for ledge, so
Yep.
Finally getting the fire rod.
There's the fire
There we
rod.
go.
So that'll open up the back of Skull Woods. So that's another dungeon that's clearable now. And eventually, we'll also have Turtle Rock.
Turtle Rock requires both the fire and the ice rock, correct?
Exactly. Well, to beat Trinex. So the ice rod is the other of the two most trolly items that at least I'm aware of. As since its literal only requirement in this game is beating Trinex, it can be anywhere except behind Trinex and, in this seed, in Ganon's Tower. So, very often is it the item that players will spend half a seed looking for.
So Walter seems to be making the Tower of Hera play right now.
Right. They did not have the lamp when they came here last time, so now that they have both the lamp and the fire rod, they are doubly, you could even say, capable of getting the big key and ascending the tower. Now I'm seeing chat start to wonder about the pedestal seed, and as others are pointing out, until we find the flute, which we might not actually find at all this seed, the pedestal is not really something we need to worry about, because we need the flute in order to get to Misery Mire, which is our green pendant. So, the moment we find the flute, the pedestal becomes in play. But until then, it's not really going to be on any of our racers' minds.
One of our chatters brings up a very good observation. Our runners, our featured runners at least, are doing the early Tower of Hera clear rather than saving it for later and comboing it into Ganon's Tower.
Right. That is also a good option. Especially in this case, since I don't think the Tower of Hera had anything important, that's definitely something they could do. But a lot of runners tend to clear all of the crystal dungeons that they can as early as they can, just because that way you're also making progression towards the end of the game. So I can see why a lot of runners would tend to do Tower of Hera early, especially since they got the necessary items to clear the dungeon so early in the game. It seems very unlikely that that you wouldn't clear it, especially since you're going to be up in that area anyway.
There's also one more thing. Since we're discussing medallions, we do know where Bombos is, even though none of our runners have gotten it.
Right, you mentioned it was on the, where was it again?
Bumper Cave.
Bumper Cave, yes. So, we're on the lookout for that cape. And Walther finally clears Tower of Hera. So, and Sunshine is gonna be getting their fire rod too. So, gonna be pretty happy about that. Cassidy, on the other hand, is about to clear the Palace of Darkness and take down Helmasaur.
Which should be easy peasy with the hammer.
True. Although they don't have the silver arrows, which would make this a complete piece of cake.
Looks like we had a tablet check from Walther. I did not see what was on it.
It was just a little piece of love. Cassidy also getting another required item, the Master Sword. So that's not going to be a problem.
So the Master Sword was in pod?
Yes, it was. So while the Master Sword is the only thing that's required to beat Ganon, our runners are probably going to be hoping that they find at least the Tempered Sword, because that makes the Ganon battle significantly easier.
Did Cassidy not check the ledge? Do they not know what's up there? Where Fire Rod is?
Now that I think about it, I don't think so. I'm pretty sure it was either Cassidy or DKS that did the water walk early on. So I think one of them knows, but I don't think the other one does.
It was just an observation because neither of them have gone to get it.
Right.
Looks like Sunshine's doing a spike cave check.
This is another one of those out-of-the-way items that very few people like to check. Doesn't look like it pays off this time, though. Meanwhile, we've got Paradox Cave from Walther. This is a big 7-item location. And it looks like they found the hookshot.
The other thing about Spike Cave is depending upon when you check it, it takes a lot of health.
Yes. That is very true. Although, with the Cane of Bryna, they won't need to expend too much. And a Super Bunny Cave check as Walther goes into Dark Death Mountain. And because they just picked up the hookshot not just a few minutes ago, they're able to clear out Hookshot Cave too, which makes this routing absolutely perfect. Lucky, but perfect. And there's our cape. So now, and the powder. Very nice.
Nice. So Hookshot Cave is definitely a place to go.
Yes, well, we don't know exactly what medallions are necessary for Mire and Turtle Rock, so Bombos may or may not be as necessary as it could be. But the powder is probably one of my favorite items, just because of the amount of safety that it gives.
I was even more thinking about the cape though too, because the cape does open up a few locations.
Yeah, most particularly it's the Bumper Cave, which will give us that Bombos medallion.
Looks like we had a Turtle Rock medallion check, and Turtle Rock is Ether.
Alright, so that's another item that I don't know if we've seen it yet.
Not as far as I'm aware.
Yeah, so we need to be on the lookout for that.
So here's a good question. Which would be more of a troll? Ice Rod in Big Chest in Thieves Town or on Ped?
Oh. I would say probably... My gut instinct says Ped, just because that... Right now we're like so far away from that. Because, you know, we still need to find the flute. And then we have to go through, you know, Eastern, Mire, and Thieves Town. And going through Thieves... If we had to go back to Thieves Town, then we'd have gone into that chest and picked up the... gone into that chest anyway. So...
That's true. I mean, at the very least, if our runners wanted to potentially save that time sink, pretty much everyone can go check to see what's on Ped.
Right. We can all do a pedestal check, and we'll probably see that when our runners go and clear Skull Woods. I think since they have both the mirror and the book, it would be the best time to check the pedestal. Even though it's pretty unlikely at this point. Oh, Cassidy getting a double drop in Tower of Hera. That never feels good. And we have a Swamp Palace dip from Walther. Seems like a pretty good option considering they're fully capable of clearing it now, but clearing full clearing Swamp Palace never feels good. Now the question is Walther going to skip the left side or just full clear it immediately? I think in this case, it's probably better to full clear it since we're so far away from go mode.
Sunshine is getting the hookshot cave check.
So I'm sure he'll be happy to see what's in there. And
DKS also heading to Hookshot Cave. Which is actually interesting because DKS is using the boots to hop over a couple of the chasms, but cannot completely check Hookshot Cave because they do not have the hookshot.
Right, they haven't. In fact, they're about to go to Paradox Cave and get the hookshot. So that's going to be a pretty bad feel for them, having just been in Hookshot Cave and now finally getting the item necessary to clear it. Oh, speaking of the powder, we are getting a bat check. Bat check.
Bat check, sure, whichever.
Oh, my stream didn't let me see what it was.
Little bit of love.
Aww. You could say they loved the Batman song there. And if I recall correctly, it looks like Walther is going and clearing Swamp Palace without doing the left side, so they're probably going to go back in afterwards and do the left side. It's also worth noting that, do they? I'm not sure exactly with Walther's sprite, but I think they might have the red mail. I'm not sure.
I'm gonna see if I can check on that.
Alright. So Sunshine is now going into the rest of Skull Woods. So it's pretty likely that after clearing, either after or right before going into Clear Mothula, they will be checking our friend the pedestal if they think that it might be necessary.
It does not look like Walther has red mail. He is still on blue.
Oh no! Wait, no. He is on red mail.
He is?
He is. I just saw on the menu.
I wonder because his tracker says he has blue. I think, if I'm looking at the tracker correctly. It's possible that it was forgotten. Oh, yep, because There is something else marked that he got that I did not notice. Let me check something because I'm not entirely sure.
Oh, that's gonna be interesting.
Did he get the flute off? Yeah, flute was on Argus.
Yup, flute on Argus. That brings the pedestal into play. Oh boy. Now again, at this point in the game, a pedestal seat is still pretty unlikely. But now it's probably going to be on Walther's mind.
Absolutely.
Yeah, if I was in Walther's shoes right now, and it's probably a good thing that I'm not, I would probably do Skull Woods right now and route it in with a pedestal check, just so I can either confirm or deny.
What I'm thinking is he's heading to Kakariko to wake up the goose. The goose is loose, or at least going to be in a moment. Everyone salute. Then he can go up to Skull Woods.
Yep, that seems like the best course, for at least from our lofty standpoint up here in the commentary box.
We have a box?
Yeah, didn't you know?
No. Let me in.
I'll see if I can't get you access. Pretty comfy up here. And yep, just as we were saying, Walther is going into Skull Woods now. Meanwhile, DKS is going through Swamp, which it's worth noting, Walther did not check the left side. So, again, I have absolutely no idea if we got all the items in Swamp Palace, but if there was something on the left side, then that could be actually really big.
Yeah, it looks like Walther got everything except for
and
one
here we go.
item. Oops, sorry.
Oh, Old Man Sunshine has checked it and found it wanting.
The pet is dead.
Everyone press F to pay respects to the pedestal. So, that's probably a relief for our runners, as much as it is a disappointment to the rest of us. Means that, very unlikely that we will end up going to Misery Mire. Unless we literally cannot find the Ice Rod anywhere.
Because the ice rod can be on Green Pendant Sahasrara, correct?
Yup. That's probably the biggest troll right now.
Would you commentator's curse? Would you commentator's curse? Like you said, I'm a monster.
You are. But the good kind of monster. And with the Cape, Sunshine is, I think... Well, once they clear out these, beasties, gonna go get the Bombos medallion.
There's actually someone in chat that is, like, right with me.
Ha!
Like,
I think a lot of chat is probably with you.
There's another good point. Ice Rod left side swamp.
That'll be big for Walther, although DKS is checking left side swamp, or has finished checking left side swamp. I unfortunately did not get to see what they got, but
Looks like I got at least one chest compass. I think.
So chat asking why runners skip the left side of swamp. Generally just because it's very out of the way, and so you don't really want to do it, and it's just 2 chests, so because it's so out of the way, you generally don't want to spend the time going and actually getting getting those 2 chests, because a lot of times they're not really going to be much. What some runners will do is they will actually clear it without doing the left side, then go in and get those 2 chests, and then just immediately mirror out to save the time that it would take to leave Swamp Palace. But overall, it's just a bad feeling having to do the left side of Swamp.
I just realized Sunshine got his second shield.
Alright. DKS finishing up Swamp Palace. Cassidy also going to the back of it. And Walther is checking the pedestal after having cleared Mothula.
So it looks like the heart that we had the heart that we had in Swamp, Big Chest, it was not just simply a heart container. It was the Sanctuary Heart.
Oh, snap. So, for those unaware, the Sanctuary Heart is a very unique heart piece, whereas all the other, not heart piece, heart container. All the other heart containers just heal you the 1 heart that you gain. The Sanctuary Heart is unique in that it fully refills your health. It is the only heart container that does that. That's why it's unique. But so yeah. Always good to find out where that one went.
If you're tempted to do your first ever any randomizer seed, the answer is yes.
So let's see. Cassidy finishing up Argus and getting the flute. DKS just got theirs as well. Sunshine is going into pod.
I'm thinking, since I actually get a 3-day weekend this weekend.
Oh.
I'm thinking I may try to finally finish my first open mode seed.
Oh, wow. Yeah. The first time going through these seeds can definitely take a while. It takes some time to get the amount of speed that these runners have.
I don't even think I will ever be at the speed that these runners have. Like, I will never be a Christozoan. I will never be a Faraime. Like, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah. Well, that's why we get to sit back here and talk about everything they do. So DKS
Mekon, hold on. Do you really want an answer to that, Mekon?
So DKS has gotten their Pyramid Fairy check. So I messed up when I said that Ice Palace was the other 5/6. It was actually Swamp. So I apologize for that. And Fat Fairy gave us our Tempered Sword. So that's a huge boon for DKS. Oh, and in the Mire Shed, we had the silver arrows, another big important item for Ganon. So, assuming that Walther goes to the Fat Fairy, then he will be all set for the end of the game. Well, yeah, because he will have to go to Pod, and we'll probably get a sword there as well. But Mire's Bombos. Walther making a pretty big gamble here.
Well, Mire is Bombos, but the good news is Walther has Bombos, and we know where Bombos is. Sunshine also has it, so it'll be interesting to see if Sunshine ends up skipping it, or if they dive in.
Right. The main reason why I'm calling it such a gamble is that Ice Palace, which is a crystal, is also open. So it's interesting that Walther would choose to go to Mire rather than Ice Palace. As I mentioned, generally you would want to clear that first because it's a crystal and you need to clear it anyway. But if Walther finds, say, the Ice Rod in here, then that'll put him at a massive advantage. Because the other runners are not going to want to check that.
It is a gamble, but it's like one of those things that when it pays off, it is going to massively pay off. The other thing is if Walther takes a gamble, because I believe, can he full clear Mire?
I think he can full clear almost anything at this point. The only thing that he's really lacking for Go mode is the Ice Rod.
Ice Rod, because he can't beat Trinex.
Right,
So,
and the Ether Medallion. And the Ether Medallion. Let's not forget that.
So it'll be interesting to see if he goes ahead and full clears it, because not only does that show us what's entirely in Mire, but it also opens up the green pendant check for Sahasrara.
Yep. Now, the downside, there are many downsides to Mire. The first of which being it's kind of a long dungeon. The second of which, coupled with that, there are only 2 possible items that you can find in there. So it's a lot of check for not a lot of get. The other downside is, of course, the cutscene, which we're going to be seeing here soon. Now, 2 items is a bit of a misnomer, as you have mentioned. Our old friend Sasha Lasha Ding Dong will be giving us a 3rd item from the green pendant that will be gotten here if Walther decides to kill Vitreous.
That's a bold kind of prediction, that at least one racer will risk Turtle Rock over Mire. But in order to do that, at least one racer would need to find Ether.
Right. Right now, the biggest thing on their minds is probably Ether, because we can find Ice Rod within Turtle Rock. Although, we're hoping that that doesn't happen.
If Ether is in Mire, the person in chat takes it back. That would be kind of hilarious, because then if someone does try and risk something, that would make it really interesting.
Yeah. My guess is, before heading to Turtle Rock, since most runners will try and make, oh, is the big key? Oh, it could be right in there. There it is. And you're not checking the big chest, Walther? You were... Oh, right, because you have to go around. I just lost my train of thought. Oh, right. runners tend to want to clear Turtle Rock last. Oh, speak of the devil! Ether is in mire.
In Walther we trust.
In Walther we trust. Walther the prophet.
That was a gamble that paid off.
Big time. Walther is immediately making a beeline to Ice Palace.
I mean, not being sure about Pendant Mire before Crystal Ice Palace is very valid, but Walther got lucky.
Yeah, Walther got very lucky. And then now the Ice Palace play is probably definitely the best play. Because he still has to clear Palace of Darkness, so that's when he's going to turn in the green pendant.
So Sunshine just cleared Pod, and Cassidy is clearing Skullwoods.
Oh, interesting. So they're not actually going to Ice.
DKS is in Ice.
Yeah, DKS is in Ice now. Taking, I guess, the more standard play, if you will. So Walther is choosing to turn in the green pendant now instead of going directly to... Well, turn in the green pendant and go to Pod, instead of going through Ice Palace.
Walther was the one who tried entering Pod.
Oh, right, of course. Walther doesn't have the green pendant. I am trying to postulate a whole bunch of things, and he didn't even freaking beat Vitreous. Ugh. I am sorry.
Who was it who tried entering Pod but did not have the requisite cash?
I feel like it was Walther, but I don't remember.
Do you have to pick up the monkey again every time?
Yup. And it's another 10 rupees every time. All right. So, from our lofty standpoint, the only thing missing is Ice Rod. For 3 of our runners on this race, they're also looking for the Ether Medallion. We know it's not in Pod. So it's probably either in, at this point, either Ice Palace or Turtle Rock.
What about the Ice Rella?
That was a terrible pun, but that would actually probably be the ultimate troll, since Walther did not clear Vitreous.
Hashtag blame chat for that pun.
Boo. So... Oh, look what Cassidy's doing.
Plans is never impressed.
Ha! It takes quite a good pun to impress me. But I'm not the important one here. Cassidy is going back into Thieves Town. So this could be a huge troll if it's in here. But it's not.
Cassidy also has the second shield upgrade.
And the Tempered Sword. Oh yeah, that is... Oh right. Of course Walther has only got the first sword. They're going through Pod right now. Getting trolled by that, You know, I never knew what those enemies were called. I just call them bouncy things. So yeah, Walther will be picking up his Master Sword very soon now. And all 4 of our runners are doing different things right now. Walther going through Palace of Darkness, Cassidy doing the Bat check, DKS going through Ice Cave, and Sunshine going through Swamp Palace. So far we have not seen the Ice Rod, as far as I'm aware. And given that DKS is about to go and challenge Cold Stare, doesn't look like it's been in there just yet.
Someone asked in chat if it was just a beetle, but those enemies, beetles did not appear in Link to the Past. They only appeared in 3 games. Link's Awakening, the Oracle games, and Minish Cap. So they are not beetles.
Yeah. So, yeah, as far as advantages go, just echoing what chat is saying, Walther definitely has what I would call a pretty big advantage right now, having checked Pendant Mire and found the Ether Medallion in the big chest, which is probably the last chest that would be in there before going to Old Vitreous. The only real way that I think that he would not have one is if the Ice Rod happens to be on Sahasrahla, because he did not actually beat Vitreous and pick up the green pendant. And by the time that the rest of these runners actually make it around to checking Mire, well, I say that, but DKS is probably about to go check it right now, they will probably be in panic mode and clearing absolutely everything possible, so they will probably get the green pendant.
That is another good point. The Ice Rod could also be on Arvos, couldn't it?
Yes, it very well could be. But again, I don't know what the item counts were for Eastern Palace, so it's very possible that we've already found all the items in there. My stream was kind of choppy at the time that everyone was doing Eastern Palace, so I didn't manage to catch much of the chests in there. But, oh, right, of course. DKS does not have the Bombos Medallion needed to get into Mire. However, he does appear to know exactly where it is, because he's making a dash for the Dark World.
Random note, I found the enemy name. And actually, it did involve the word beetle. It's a hard hat beetle.
The more you know.
Whoosh. Do 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 do.
Alright, so
but
it
yeah,
appears that... Oh, sorry?
Sorry. The observation is that when Easter Palace was dipped, they went all the way to the big key chest, and the big key chest had a compass, which means there is something on those nights.
Alright.
The thing is that 2 of our featured runners have silvers, which would make a clear of Armos Nights that much easier. So it's not so bad once they have silvers, in my opinion.
I definitely agree. Probably... Oh, look, Walther is actually going into Eastern Palace right now. So we'll find out very soon. Yeah, I was about to say before I actually saw that Walther was probably in the best position to make that since he was currently going through Pod and therefore was just a mirror away from Eastern. Looks like he thought the exact same thing. So Silvers were in the Meyer shed. So it's pretty likely, since Meyer is a required dip, that all 4 of our runners are going to be getting them. Which, I'm going to be honest, is very nice. Having to do Ganon Silverless is not something that I would wish on very many runners. And there's DKS going into Bumper Cave to pick up the Bombos Medallion and make that Meyer dip.
So things are looking definitely more and more likely that Ice Rod is. It could be in Ice Palace, Misery Mire, and I think that's it.
It doesn't seem like they were in Ice Palace because that's been full cleared. So my guess right now is that it's going to be in Turtle Rock.
That's true. It could be in one of the chests in Turtle Rock, just not behind Trinex.
Right. So, yeah, the nice option is that it's in Turtle Rock. The mean option is that it is either on Vitreous, which I don't know if it can be, or behind the green pendant.
And Walther's making the Ice Palace move now.
As that's the only crystal he has left to clear, that's probably his only other option. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like he's going to find what he wants in here.
When you say it's his only other crystal to clear, you mean it's the only thing that's full clearable?
Yeah, I mean, he can't clear Turtle Rock right now, so Ice Palace is really his only option if he wants to, I guess, make any progression, so to speak.
Which it'll be hilarious if the Ice Rod actually is in Turtle Rock.
Right. Bombos tablet was checked. It was nothing of any consequence. So yeah, DKS is making their Meyer dip. And is going to be very, very, well, I don't know if I'd say happy, but not unhappy to see the Ether Medallion there. Meanwhile, Sunshine is going to clear out the Land Molos. Oh, Walther makes the bomb jump and then immediately falls off the other side. Feels bad. If you are learning the little tips and tricks of Rando, one of the things that I would definitely recommend you learn is this Ice Palace bomb jump. It's not too bad to learn, and it's very useful for clearing out Ice Palace, especially when you're in Go mode, and because that makes Ice Palace much quicker.
Does it count as Commentator's Curse if I don't guess the exact method of the troll, but I wish a trolly seed on them.
I think at this point we've gotten to the point where we're having a good Ice Rod troll right now. And, I don't know, I think that's, I guess I could count it.
And we have a cold stare clear, and it's the magic boomerang.
The Lagarang. The second best boomerang.
So now we know that Ice Rod is not an Ice Palace.
Right.
So Turtle Rock check imminent? Well, Cassidy can't check Turtle Rock yet.
Right. They have to make, yeah, at this point, they are pretty much forced into doing Misery Mire. Because I think a lot of runners have done a lot of the one-off locations. So this is actually turning into a pretty, an almost hundo seed. Very few areas that I would say have not been checked. Although Cassidy's not going to be mad to find the silver arrows right there. Alright, so let's play the first of a couple of games we'll probably be playing soon. Where in Turtle Rock do you think the Ice Rod's going to be?
Laser Bridge.
Oh, you're taking the easy one. I'm going to say the Chain Chomp Chest.
I just want to see laser beams. Okay, looks like DKS does not have ether.
Oh no! Well, on the flip side, this means that he is going to definitely get the pendant. But that's huge. If he does not go back and get that, he's going to be kicking himself later. Thankfully, these silver arrows make Vitreous a very easy fight.
Right.
And another fun fact, Vitreous is one of 2 enemies in this game that is not one-shot by the silver arrows. The other, of course, being the big pig himself, Ganon.
Biggin.
Ooh, and Walther doing a hammer cold stare. Oh no, Walther! Be careful. Oh, he's fine. Oh, good. DKS is going back for that, that big chest, so that's going to be, a relief. So, let's see here. And it looks like DKS is going to go and turn in that green pendant. So this is kind of the moment of truth here. If it's not here, I'd almost say it's pretty much gonna be in Turtle Rock.
And it's a bottle.
It's a bottle.
That was anticlimactic.
Well, that pretty much establishes that Walther is in the lead of our forerunners. Not by too much, since DKS is right on his tail. But he is about to go into Turtle Rock. Cassidy is making their way through Mire. And Sunshine is at the tail end of clearing out Ice Palace. So one thing that Chad is also pointing out is that DKS does have the Tempered Sword, and he's not tailing by too much. So when it comes down to the Ganon fight, DKS actually is probably ahead. That is, of course, assuming that we don't find a sword in either Turtle Rock or Ganon's castle. Well, as Walther makes their way through Turtle Rock, we are getting towards the end of this seed. I do want to ask all of you guys to take the time and give these runners a follow. They are definitely putting themselves out there by putting these races up on this restream for all of us to watch. So, you know, I know a lot of people running these dailies do stream this game at other hours. So, yeah, give them a follow. They definitely deserve it. And while I was saying that, I did not check to see if Cassidy had gotten the Ether Medallion. So that's going to be a possible problem. Sunshine clearing out Cold Stare with his last use of the Fire Rod. Okay, Cassidy did get Ether, so that's definitely nice. And going to clear Vitreous, which, as we know, is not... Oh no, Walther. Oh no. That's bad. That was definitely not an intentional death. Mauled by the Chain Chomps. That puts DKS in the lead. And unfortunately, I am wrong as to my Ice Rod location. So, Sunshine, picking up a couple of potions. Trying to get some safety in there. A very good decision. I know I definitely would do that. Turtle Rock is, especially for me, especially as a less experienced runner, Turtle Rock is very unforgiving. So, potions are definitely very helpful. And since it's easy enough to flute to 2, they're pretty accessible as well. DKS checking the big chest location and getting a small key. Big key location. Walther is actually very close to DKS right now. Well, yeah, they're pretty close. So DKS is about to head out to the Mimic Cave. Wow, Sunshine checks the Pyramid Fairy. And Cassidy is going to be heading up to Turtle Rock. Alright, the Mimic Cave check. Drum roll, please. Nope, big 20. And interesting, Walther is checking the big chest before checking Mimic Cave. I can't say I've seen that too many times. It's possible they just forgot, but...
I'm still holding hope for Laser Bridge.
Well, so far, I'd say that's probably the only real location left at this point. If it's not there... If it's not there, then where else do we have? As far as why would you do the big chest first, probably because they're only one item away from Go mode, so if they find it in the big chest, then they know they don't have to go do Mimic Cave. It's probably, but if they weren't one item away from Go mode, then they probably would do Mimic Cave first. And there's the Ice Rod on Laser Bridge for the maximum troll.
Thank you, thank you. Every so often, make sure to tip your waitress.
And that means at 1 hour, say 36 minutes and 50 seconds, DKS89 is our first restreamed runner in Go mode. And wouldn't you know it, they are just a hop, skip, and a jump away from Big Bad Pig's tower as well, once they beat this three-headed beast.
Yes, I picked 4 chests and I win. Chat, you and your trolls.
And since we are actually very close to Ganon's Tower, I might as well talk about a little game that we like to play in these parts. So, Axis, as I'm sure you're well aware, there are 22 chests in the basement of Ganon's Tower. And one of them holds the big key. So my question to you is this.
And you know what my answer will be.
Which chest? If it's not Tile Room.
Oh.
Is the big key in?
So that's how we're playing. 15.
15. Interesting answer.
Alright, looks like we have our first finisher off stream. Dwayne has finished with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 34 minutes, and 2 seconds. That's out of 40 races.
Wow, congratulations to Blaine. This was quite an annoying seed. And did Walther just mirror out of Trinex?
Yes, he did. Walther, what you doing?
I'm
running out of magic.
Yeah, that's what I would have to assume. He must have run out of magic. Another good reason to pack a couple potions when you don't have half magic. It's a lot more likely that you'll run into that unfortunate problem. So DKS is running through Ganon's tower. Didn't see what the first two chests were, but we are going to be getting our 3rd through 6 checks right now. There's the shovel. Piece of heart. Another pizza heart. And a hundo rupees.
Is it a pepperoni Pizza Heart?
Yeah, I think so. That little red in the middle, probably pepperonis. I heard some weirdo tomato pie. And my spot, the torch, is just the compass. So, sadly, I am once again wrong in the guessing game. Bob, as we note, is safe. We will be seeing him. And there's the mushroom. So all of our fetch quests are in Ganon's tower. So that's 7, 8, 9, and 10. Still on the hunt. Walther going in for take 2 of Trinex. Oh, right, yes, of course, 7 was the torch. So, yeah, that what we just saw in Firebar Room was number 12. And number 13 will be coming up shortly.
Okay, and we had our second finisher off Restream. Pinky Rose just finished, or Pink Kitty Rose, PKR, finished with an hour, 41 minutes, and 53 seconds. That's a very good time. Yeah, PKR.
Yes, congratulations to PKR. Alright, the Rando Room. 10 arrows, piece of heart, bottle, and the map.
So I guess I was wrong as well.
Yep. Well, you can join the wrong club. It's okay, we have candy.
At least I was right about Laser Bridge.
True, I guess you can't really, can you? I guess you can start your own half-wrong club.
I'm right when it counts.
Alright. Hi, Bob. Bye, Bob. Press F to pay respects for Bob, as he transformed into a fairy. And next we have the Ice Armos, and a new magic trick. Now you see them. Now you don't. And there's the big key. In the second to last chest. I believe that was 21. Well, if it was the second to last, then yes. Alright. So you would have been wrong anyway. It was not Tile Room. It was almost Tile Room. So we can take at least solace in that. But now we come down to just all execution from this point on.
But DKS does have silver arrows, which should make it quite easy.
Yeah, with silver arrows and the tempered sword, DKS should have really no problem from this point on.
The only person at a disadvantage is Walther.
Right. They are the only one with the Master Sword. So, if I remember correctly... Where was Tempered again? I don't remember. But, it's also worth noting that we did not find a sword in GT. So there is
Fat
still one
Fairy.
sword. Fat Fairy. Okay. So interesting. Walther didn't check that. But there is a chance that our fourth sword is going to be in one of the last 4 chests up the top of the tower. My guess is that Walther is probably going to check those chests, given that the amount of time that it would take to check them is much less than the amount of time that you would have to spend doing a Master Sword Ganon fight. But I don't think that the other 3 runners are going to check them, because the amount of time you save by getting the Golden Sword is not nearly as much.
But I prefer to butter my bread from the breadsmiths.
Of course. I much prefer it too. But bacon's better.
He likes bread and butter. She likes toast and jam. That's what Mama feeds him. He's her little man.
Alright, DKS. One last thing. Don't despawn.
We have our 3rd and 4th finishes. Weighty Words finished 3rd with 1 hour, 45 minutes, and 32 seconds. And Haiku Type is in 4th with 1 hour, 45 minutes, and 59 seconds.
Great times. Congrats to both of them. Oh no, DKS taking a fall to Modorm 2. Electric Boogaloo. Now it's time for the revenge fight. And he gets it. Trolldorm wins the battles, but he never wins the war. And with that, DKS is on to the Aga 2 fight. Not that we had the Aga 1 fight, so you'll just have to take my word that this is the actual second fight.
Vantalis just finished 5th with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 48 minutes, and 4 seconds. And Sea Falcon, not long after, with 1 hour, 48 minutes, and 46 seconds.
And that was a beautiful Aghanim 2 fight from DKS. If I counted right, that was a 2-3-1 in terms of bounce backs. So any fight that includes a triple is usually a really nice fight to watch. Cassidy has found their big key just a little bit ahead of Walther, so they will both be ascending at about the same time. And Ganon giving us a nice little advertisement for something as he starts his battle with DKS.
He's Just a Boy finished in 7th with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 48 minutes, and 15 seconds. Wait a minute, that's not right. 1 hour, let's double check that. Hold on. And Sonicam is in 8th.
Alright, DKS already on to phase 3 of the Ganon fight. And is in the 4th phase, excuse me. There's one hit, does not get the torch glitch. Oh, but a nice hit right there. With a double there. And there it is, the final hit. One obstacle prevents DKS from finishing this seed.
And that's a door.
Now there's a bridge in front of it.
But the door is of every Dungeons and Dragons adventurer's adventure.
And get your GGs in chat as DKS finishes this seed. With an official SRL time of 1 hour, 48 minutes, and 50 seconds. Or, sorry. No, that's wrong. I was reading the wrong person. 1 hour, 51 minutes, and 2 seconds. Great job by him. Alright, so meanwhile, Walther is going through the upper parts of the tower. And is not checking the chest there. Note that he's still on the Master Sword, so he will have to do a Master Sword Ganon if the validation chest doesn't have a sword. And Old Man Sunshine is just starting his trek into Ganon's tower. And the final chest contains the bug net. So that means that Walther will be taking a Master Sword Ganon fight. Both Walther and Cassidy are going into their Aghanim fights. And Walther finishes up.
And the interesting thing I think here is, with how close Cassidy and Walther are, it could come down to the fact that Walther only has Master Sword, whereas Cassidy has the Tempered Sword.
I would definitely say it's going to come down to that. And we should probably see, we'll likely see Cassidy pulling ahead here very soon.
Looks like Ganon was giving us an advertisement for a healthy breakfast.
Always good of him to make sure that we're taking care of ourselves. I'm sure it contains some bacon, though. So there's probably something in it for him, too. So you can already see that Cassidy is already in Phase 3 of the Ganon fight, while Walther is still in Phase 2. And oh no, it's only at a heart and a half. Oh no, Walther!
Cassidy definitely just pulled ahead.
Yep. Looks like Walther is going for a little bit of safety here. Probably, yes, going for some potions. Master Sword Ganon is never a fun fight. And Cassidy finishes the Ganon fight. Can they traverse the Great Bridge? And they do it! Oh my god! Congratulations to Cassidy for finishing in second on the Racers stream. With a time of 1 hour, 56 minutes, and 53 seconds. And now Walther is going into revenge. Get his revenge on Ganon. And Old Man Sunshine is starting their ascent of the tower. Yes, Ganon, we did find the arrows in the Dark World. So Cassidy, unfortunately, not able to join us for an interview. Still holding out on DKS. But Walther finishes the Ganon fight and successfully crosses the bridge and finishes the seed with a time of 1 hour, 59 minutes, and 49 seconds.
I love how the randomizer just apologizes. And then Pulls a Mario.
Of course. This was quite the seed. We had to dip pretty much every single dungeon, except for Thieves' Town, actually. But most people dip Thieves' Town anyway, so... And then the ice rod on Laser Bridge was a pain. Not as much as the Ether Medallion being in Pendant Misery Mire.
That made me giddy.
And we are joined now by Walther, GG.
GG.
Yeah, GG's.
So, just wanted to get your overall thoughts on how the seed went. It was quite an interesting one, at least from our point of view.
It's the second time today I have Ice Rod in Turtle Rock.
Oh, man.
Like, the seed in itself wasn't too bad, except for the Ice Rod, I guess. But I'm not very happy with my routing or execution at all. Did so many weird mistakes and had a lot of execution problems.
Yeah. So, what made you decide to go into Mire? You were actually the first person on the restream, at least, to go into Mire, and at the time, I know I was wondering why you wouldn't have gone into like Ice Palace or somewhere else instead.
Yeah, so I went early into Swamp Palace because we had like I could do all the crystals except for Turtle Rock. So most of the times people would leave Swamp Palace for last, so I just did that early, and I decided if I get anything from there, I'm gonna follow that. So I got the flute, so I just went over to Mire. Kind of wish that I continued that line of thought, because then I would have entered to Turtle Rock, but there was so many things to check, so it didn't really feel like it was time to go to Turtle Rock that early.
But yeah, that is true. I mean, I don't think going to Ice Palace after that was the wrong thing necessarily. Or, you went to Pod after that, right?
Yeah, I went to Ice Palace first, but then mirrored out as soon as I got in, because I was like, wait, the Boo hasn't given us anything, so let's go to Pod.
Right. Yeah, you were actually as I mentioned, you were the first person to actually go into Misery Mire, and you actually were the first person to grab that Ether Medallion. So, what other areas of the seed do you think really gave you the most trouble, do you think?
It was basically everything. I just took damage from every single enemy, and I had a lot of problems with the bosses.
I think a lot of people...
Yeah.
Chat was commenting, I think, when you were in Skull Woods about your Mothula fight. Like, everyone was like, come on! Because it felt like it was taking a little while.
Yeah, and that one felt bad. I almost died with red mail on Mothula. I had like half a heart left or something. And Mothula is one of, like, for me personally, one of the easier ones, but I had lots of problems with it. Like, sometimes you have a bad day.
Yeah. I think the other... oh, sorry, go ahead.
The other thing I did want to note is you were the only one to full clear Eastern Palace. What were your thoughts behind that?
My thoughts was kind of, why did I go back in here? I should just go out, but then it just continued.
As good a reason as any other, I suppose.
Yeah, I had a kind of a long pause after I finished pod. I was like, should I go in here and get the last item, or should I just go to Ice Palace? And then the pause just continued, so I just went in.
Yeah, I mean, you are right there, so... I mean, I definitely probably would have done the same thing, considering I think at that point you were just missing the ice rod. So... If it was there,
I think...
If it was there, then
We're
that would have
like-
been perfect.
Yeah. It was a fun sea, though. I enjoyed it.
For
Yeah,
all
I
of
think...
its trolliness.
The
Yeah.
logic has to be stupid sometimes, right? That's what makes this game great.
I was right about one thing. One thing. And chat's gonna make fun of me because I didn't choose the location with a single chest. I chose the location with 4 chests. Ice Rod being on Laser Bridge.
Yeah.
And just quick interruption as Old Man Sunshine finishes the race with a SRL time of 2 hours, 6 minutes, and 30 seconds.
Nice. GG.
So, GG's to Old Man Sunshine. Finishing up our set of 4.
At least we got early boots in this scene.
Yes, that was very nice.
2
I forget.
hours.
Were you one of the people who got who went to Uncle early, or
Yeah, I
Did
went
you wait a
in
bit?
first.
Okay, yeah. Because you and I think one other person went to Uncle early, and then other people I think went to Uncle like right before getting the power gloves. So.
Yeah, because the boots locked.
Oh right, they were boots lock, of course. What am I thinking?
I guess you could have gotten your first gloves in desert.
Yeah,
Going to Eastern.
that is true. All right, and we're now joined by Old Man Sunshine as well. GG.
GG.
Thank you.
So guess I'll start with the same general question. How did you feel about this seed in general?
Oh, I'm getting some double here. Hang on. Sorry.
Oh, no problem.
There. Okay, sorry. Yeah, it was, well, it started out great, but it got worse when the ice rod came up.
I can assure you it got worse for everyone.
Yeah, I kind of
Yeah.
figured. Once I started looking at times, I was like, oh, that got everybody, huh?
Yeah.
And I think we kind of, what's the word, jinxed it in chat. We kind of said that Ice Rod would be in Mire on Vitreous. We were close.
Yeah, you were actually very close.
I did eventually say Laser Bridge. I'm sorry.
No, so did I. As soon as I saw Bombo was the key to Mire, I went, oh no.
Yeah.
Fortunately,
Tended-
it wasn't on Vidi.
Yeah.
So we had 2 people full clear Mire and 2 people not. It looks like. That's
I
very
almost did.
interesting.
I was afraid that Vidi did, in fact, have Ice Rod, but I decided to go ahead and jump out anyway.
You actually completed the least number of dungeons out of our restreamed racers. Because you skipped Eastern Palace, you skipped Thieves Town, and you skipped Mire. Whereas Walther only skipped Thieves Town and Mire, Cassidy only skipped Eastern Palace, and DKS only skipped Eastern Palace and Thieves Town.
Yeah. I was just thinking, gotta go fast, gotta go fast.
Yeah, so, probably, in my opinion, the biggest troll of this seed was probably, the Ether Medallion and Misery Mire. So, what were your thoughts on, when you saw that, or when you realized that you were gonna have to go into, Pendant Mire?
At the rate the seed was going, I tried to exhaust all possibilities until I finished Ice Palace and went, okay, fine, let's go look at Mire. And then I've still got Eastern and Thieves Town, so
Yeah.
I was running out of places to look.
Yeah, I think pretty much everyone was running out of places by that point, except I think Walther dipped it a little bit earlier than everyone else. But yeah, everyone else pretty much had Mire as their last resort.
I think I routed in every other single overworld chest I could think of, and I think I may have overdone it, but
I don't know. I don't think that I don't think too many other people didn't do that. Actually, the collection rate for
I'm looking at that now.
yeah, it's actually kind of very, very eerily similar.
Yep, 177, 175. Yep.
So yeah, everyone pretty much was clearing the same amount of
So hold on. We need your completion rate, Sunshine.
Yeah,
to
yeah,
be
I'm waiting.
176.
Then, of course, stream delay.
Yep.
Yep.
Wait for it.
Yeah, it better be 176 or we're gonna be mad.
162. Ah!
Curses.
Curses!
How dare you do this to us?
Got upset the bookies on that one.
Yeah.
Oof. Yeah.
The only problem is it depends. It counts literally everything, including like heart pieces and everything, right?
Yeah,
if you look at it.
Because I think it will come down to whether or not you missed like a single heart piece in comparison to DKS. Because as far as the tracker is concerned, DKS got the shovel, but you didn't.
I wonder where that was.
That was right side of Ganon's tower.
Yeah, that's what I thought it might be.
So if that shovel is the only thing you missed in comparison, you would be 176.
Well, you also have Brian, whereas he does not.
That is true.
Oh, yeah.
That was on Pyramid, if I remember right.
Yep.
Yeah, I was starting to get afraid that big key in Ganon's tower was on right side after I full cleared left.
Well, Axis here was hoping for tile rooms, so
Yeah, of course.
To quote Plans, I'm a monster.
Yes. That's chat for you.
I hope for, like, my initial hope before the race started was Kane locked Ganon's tower.
I see my collection rate.
Oh, you're gonna slow roll us, aren't you?
Oh, hell yeah. Wait for it. Wonder where Butter was. Did anyone find Butter?
No.
No. No, Walther actually ended up finishing with a Master Sword, so...
Yeah, it's silver. Yeah, we all had silvers.
Oh, you got it! You got it!
Did we really get 174, 175, 176, 177?
Yup.
We did.
This is the best timeline.
My goodness. We need to screenshot this and clip this for posterity. Where's my Twitch clip button?
It all lines up.
It all lines up.
Except horizontally.
It's a nice little C.
Too bad I didn't get a better time on that. Still working on that.
It's still better than anything that I could definitely have done, that's for sure. So.
And it's been clipped.
Awesome.
All right.
Yeah, it wasn't such a bad scene, just that one item, that's all.
Yeah, V29 gonna V29.
Yep.
Alright, I guess we should probably start wrapping up. It is getting a bit on in time for some of us. Any last things you want to say before we end the interview?
Oh, I got that. Nice 74, 75, 76, 77 for you. Lined it all up. Yep, next seed, next race. Let's do this.
All right. Thank you very much for the interview, and GG once again. Very
GG.
nice run.
Thanks much.
Just as a note, these are daily races, so there are more races to come tomorrow. So keep an eye out on that. Plans? Did you have anything else to add?
I guess just piggybacking off of that, right now we're doing just one a week because we have the qualifiers for our big summer tournament going on right now. But starting next week, we will be going back to our double daily races, or at 2 p.m. and 9 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. So definitely tune into those. They're a load of fun, as you can clearly see by this, and more rando is always better. I also like to give a huge shout out to our two trackers, Coordinator and Forgotten to Pay. Thank you so much for watching everything, and keeping us updated on everything that we missed. And a huge thank you to Axis of Anarchy, my co-commentator. It was a blast commentating with you, and hope
you as
to
well,
again
Flans.
sometime.
Yeah, absolutely. I definitely hope that I can do a lot more of this, and I look forward to the future.
All right, and with that, I'd like to say thank you to everyone for watching this race, and to all the runners for providing us an amazing race, especially those on the restream for letting us show their runs to the world. And good night, and see you next race.
See y'all tomorrow.